as far as I can step back here in what was kind of the backyard, this is the back of the house. And the window frames are still there, and some of the glass is there. The top part is gone. And it's just very puzzling to kind of tell exactly what happened. If it was, I mean, some of it I'm sure was a little looting and vandalism over the years, but I'm in a pretty, you know, out in the country. So, I guess nobody, whoever the heirs were, or people who might have inherited this house in the will, didn't want to bother with hauling off that piano. And there's some furniture and some rugs, and I mean, I even found I saw a woman's shoe in the side yard. Very eerie indeed. This is the other side of the house. I'll give you an idea of how it's sort of giving way. The sort of the middle part of the side of the house, you can see where the side's just kind of buckling, has been buckling. It's buckled basically, and the top part is the roof is fallen in, and just the inside of the house is completely, you just, I mean, certainly not fit for human habitation. But strangely, eerily still, parts of it are intact. I mean, there's a piano that is basically intact. I don't think you could play it, but I mean, it's just sitting there in the living room. You know, a very heavy musical instrument sitting there that looks like it could, you know, you think it would fall through the floor, but it must be, it's close to the front foundation where there's stone, where it's probably, presumably resting on. But the rest of it is just, what's standing is just standing very precariously. And it's hard to tell. I don't know any history of this house. My fiance took me out here a few months ago, I think, and I made a short video and put it up, and I decided to come out here again and take more video and get a better look at it, try to find more out about it, and because it just seemed like a kind of interesting kind of ruin, really, of a family home out here in the country in northeastern PA, where I'm at. I'm just going to say vaguely where I'm at. I'm not going to give the exact location. I don't feel that's necessary, but yeah, and this is part of the house that's given way, and you can just, there's really nothing there but what's collapsed into the basement. So I don't know, it wasn't a fire that destroyed this house. It was just neglect. It was left. There's no evidence that I can tell of anything that's been burned. It's just been left here. It takes a long time for a house to fall apart like this. Quite a while. So I would assume, and there's the ceiling in the one downstairs room. It might have been a living room or den. It's not a bad sized house. It was probably quite a nice home in its day. And there's what you can see, what's left of the roof. There's a section of the roof, the eave that comes out of just above the attic, and that's what's left on the other side. Just a few, you know, some supports and slates coming out. It's very, you know, looks like Edward Scissorhands lives up there or some shit. So yeah, it's just really you know, some scary looking shit. And that's the living room. There's a chair, some just regular chair. It's still there. There's fabric on it still, and I think like some kind of furnace or of sorts. And there's like a thermostat on the wall, and there's even, you know, the light switch with the covers on it. Just eerie that all this stuff kind of stayed here as the home fell apart. And to think someone was in here watching TV with their family or whatever they were doing, and Or maybe some really horrifying shit happened. This makes Michael Myers' house looks like fucking Mr. Rogers' house. That's for fucking sure. And, that's the basement. Not much to see down there. It's just basically, you know, you can't go down there. There's most of the floor that's collapsed into the basement, and it's just pretty much a crawl space. So this has been my second visit to the house in the woods. I just wanted to make a more extensive video of it. I really don't know much about the history of it, but it's kind of a fascinating place. Raises a lot of questions. I don't really know what happened to the people who lived here, or when the last time anyone lived here. And I think this is the last time I'm coming out here, because the place kind of gives me the heebie-jeebies, quite frankly. But anyway, I don't endorse urban exploration. I did not go into this place. I walked around it and shot inside of it. So I would not recommend anybody going into a condemned or derelict house or building. But anyway, in conclusion, this is D.S. Yaxheimer. This has been another episode of The Spectre, and take care. If you like my videos, subscribe.